Welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and it is show number 217. Happy summer. Happy heat wave. It's July here, 2022, and it is hot outside. I don't know where you're at in the country, where you are listening, but man, it's hot up here in the Northeast. It's hot in Kentucky. I just spoke to today's guest. We're going to meet Marlow Hazard here in a moment. 95 in New York and Kentucky. So summer's here. We'll be complaining how cold it is in January. But welcome to show 217. Proud to be your host. Proud to be a member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada, live here on Facebook, on iTunes, wherever it is you are consuming your podcast. We are happy for your support. And if you're liking the show, give us a positive review. Give us a thumbs up, forward it to a friend, and certainly spread the word of education, leadership, and beyond. I do want to thank today's sponsor, Halvesies Cookies. Halvesies Cookies are a local company here in New York. They're literally half cookies, cut in half, beautiful. The cut, you can see it, tastes even better. Their discount code is Murata15. Check them out. Here's their logo up in the corner here. Check them out. Halvesies Cookies. You can order them. They vacuum ship, and certainly Marlow Hazard is going to get some for him and the girls down there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So I appreciate Halvesies Cookies. You're going to a barbecue, you're going to a birthday party this summer, order some Halvesies Cookies. Murata15 is your discount code. All right, let's get rolling on show number 217. Back in the fall, I met Principal Hazard, and I was presenting. You know, I'm always reading the room, looking around, and then bam, I connected with this guy. I joked, right? I said, hey, I wanted to be the sharpest dressed guy in the room. And I had him stand up. He had the sport coat, and he just looked the part. He looked like $1 million. I didn't know him at the time. I didn't know his leadership. I didn't know much about him. But he got my attention with just how he looked. He carried himself tall. He dressed the part, nice sport coat, carried himself with confidence, right? Maybe he was nervous. Maybe he wasn't a good principal. Who knows? I didn't know at the time. But when I met him and I shook his hand and then we spoke a little bit, I said, you are the best dressed guy in the room, right? And everybody laughed. But I think, and I'm going to ask Marlow, it's intentional. It's intentional to dress the part. I work today. I got my logo here, my Port Jervis shirt, right? I'm intentional about how I dress, intentional about how I look. And I think that's important for us as school leaders to, model that and show that. And Marlow did that. He got my attention. And here we are about 6 months later on the podcast. Enough of me talking. We want to hear from him way down there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Marlow, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming on. This is Principal Marlow Hazard, Warren Elementary, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yes.
It's not where the University of Bowling Green is. It's where Western Kentucky is.
Yes, it is. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Marlow, welcome. It's an honor to have you on. Tell me about that, Marlow. Tell me the other side of when we met. Do you dress like that on purpose? What's the behind you dressing so sharp and looking the part?
That's every day for me. Everybody always tells me, you're always the sharpest dressed guy in the room. I mean, even my superintendent, he'll say something like that. And even like last week we had an SBDM, a site-based council, just a training, and then the assistant superintendent was in there, and he said, "Do you ever just come out and just something casual?" And I just said, when I'm mowing my yard, maybe that's about it. So
no sport coat.
Yeah. The purpose is just, just to, kind of look the part, but then, just to grab attention, because my first year of teaching, I would wear a tie about every day. And then I remember it was a sub that came in the building and walked right past the principal and came to me and said, "Hey, sir, can you tell me where this room is?" And I said, "Yeah, I can tell you, where it is." And when I showed him, he said, "How long you been principal here?" And I said, I teach math. So and he said, "Oh, okay, I didn't know." I said, "The lady you walked beside," I said, she's the principal." So But
Wow.
it's just that way that I do things just to, again, to grab the attention, just to make, if you look good, you feel good, you feel good, you lead well, and that's just how I look at it. That's just how I look at it.
And was there somebody when you were a youngster, Marlow, that you saw and said, "Man, I want to dress like that. I want to look like that. I want to do that." Did somebody model that for you?
No, I just think that I've always just kind of had that in me, just to dress the right way, kind of just dress the right way. Now I know when I was in my teens, I probably did some silly kind of dressing, but once I became a little older and just more mature about just more conscious about how I'm looking, how I'm representing things, then I began to change all that up. I mean, probably about my sophomore year of high school, I really began to to really focus on how I looked just looked the part.
Yeah. And as I shared when we met, yeah, I used to referee, and the veteran refs told me that when you walked on the court, your shirt was pressed, your pants, your shoes shine. They said that was half the battle of being accepted by the coaches, was that first presentation. And you certainly got my my attention when I presented, and here we are 6 months later. So kudos to you for leading with that, because some people don't think it's important, and I believe it is. So cool. Marlow, tell us about Warren Elementary, how long you been there. Tell me a little bit about the culture of the school.
Yeah, this is my second year here at Warren L. We're about 70% English second language population. So
Oh, wow.
there's about 28 to 30 different languages spoken here. There's about 700 students here. So it's I tell you, it's a lot of fun. I tell you, you come in and you learn some Swahili, you learn some Pashto, you just learn some different languages that you never thought you ever heard of. I mean, and so you try to learn those things just to communicate with the kids and just have a good time here. So it's just like that here. So a lot of fun.
If you're watching live, I'd love for you to jump in and ask a question or a comment for Marlow. What is it about the community that makes it so diverse?
Just at Bowling Green is just kind of one of those transit communities where, long ago when I was at Western, they had just kind of a I can't even remember. They had just kind of a transient, just really it was just kind of like a little house that they would bring refugees into and just kind of take care of them, and then it just began to grow from there. I mean, so I was at Western and I graduated in '99, and so then from there it just kind of exploded here. I mean, of course, with the university here as well. I mean, it brings a lot of different nationalities in here, but as far as like the schools and everything, it's just really just grown because just kind of where we're located at. We're located about we're about an hour south of Nashville, so and Nashville kind of brings some of that in. We're about an hour and a half south of Louisville as well, and then Lexington also. So Bowling Green's kind of in the middle, kind of that little melting pot in the middle. Big, not too small, but just kind of just right for everyone.
And what was your message? What was your leadership? What was your communication with your staff this year, Marlow, in terms of coming out of COVID, getting back into it? What were some things about your staff that you helped lead as they led the children?
It was just all about just kind of a reset, and then we just talked about every student every day. We knew that some of our population is just a lot of our kids they missed out on those hugs and those high fives and all those things like that because they may not have gotten it at home, and so they missed out on it because for us not being in school, and so it was just kind of that new just kind of resetting. And then just every student every day. That's kind of how we kind of went through and looked at it, and just made it purposeful, to lead these kids, to really love on them, to really give them that extra little bit of the extra little push, but then have a little grace with them as well, because it's all about just that good balance.
Nice. I like that extra push with a little bit of grace. They certainly need that now. Where did you come up with that? Was that something that your staff, every student every day? I saw that's one of your hashtags. Was that something that you developed or the staff collaboratively? How did that
Yeah,
come about?
we just kind of sent out just a little, kind of a just kind of a little survey on something we want to do, how we want to change things, just kind of going into a new year. And then, it was just kind of like, we're going to do a book study, and the book is called Culturize. And that's kind of what that, the motto is on that book. It's every student, every day. And I said, hey, well, let's just borrow that. And that's what we'll use, and that's how we'll do things. It's every student, every day. And just to make it purposeful, and whatever we do, it's all about the students.
The great Jimmy Casas. I love that book. There's so many takeaways from that. Marlow, you and I met at KASA, the Principal Summit. You absorbed it. There was a lot of sessions. There was a lot of stuff going on. I know you're just going to be in the front of their upcoming conference here. But what drew you to that conference? And then how do you consume the information? Are you a verbal, audio? Were you writing it down? Did you record it? Like, how did you absorb and grow from that experience?
I'm a visual learner on, pretty much on everything. Just going to that conference, just kind of it was actually sent out, and I thought, well, hey, I just like to go. And then because I hadn't really ever been. We went to like Ron Clark and things like that, but I just wanted to go to a KASA conference, and hadn't really been to one, as such, and so principal striving and everything like that. So and so then I thought, well, this is what I want to do. So I went there. But then for me, it's just all about the the visual. The visual prompts that you had up and everything like that. That's how I learn. And then that's where, I can take those things in and begin to, kind of, as you said, give a little twist of your own and use them, in your classroom and all that, or in your building. So, that's how I learned.
And did you take something back? Was there something that resonated with you that you took back, that you started, that maybe you weren't doing, or you started doing a little differently after being there?
Yeah. It just some simple things. That there was the one story, about when you told about, I can't remember how actually it was, when I think it was a bird that fell out into the field, and then sometimes you said sometimes people who poop on you don't mean so much bad for you and all that. So and because a lot of that, being a principal in the building, of course, there's always somebody who's kind of not really having it out for you, but just want to kind of push your buttons and everything like that. So, I always have to look at those things and use those in a way to, to kind of motivate the people and keep everybody in line, basically.
Not everyone who poops on you is your enemy.
Right.
Not everyone who gets you out of the poop is your friend.
Right.
And when you're deep in the poop, it's best to keep your mouth shut.
That's it. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Well, it was great that you were there. And right, I think it's such an important part of our own leadership that we continue to grow, continue to serve others. So good for you. And I hope we can get at least connect a little bit. I know you'll be with your team up at this upcoming conference in Louisville, KASA. You have some passions outside of school, Marlow, that in your life: photography, baseball. You're into sports photography. Tell me a little bit about that.
I just way back when I was, I used to watch. Of course, you'd see Andre Agassi on the shooting pictures. And was it Andre Agassi? No, it's not Andre. What's his name? I think it is Andre Agassi with the Canon long ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah. With all those crazy outfits.
Yeah, all this crazy hair and all that. So yeah, that's what I did. I just picked up a camera back when I was in high school and just began shooting and just never put it down. And so just had the opportunity to what's been 7 or 8, 10 years ago. The Sporting Times called me up and said, hey, would you do some shooting for us? And I said, yeah, great. Yeah, that'd be fine. So I cover every local high school sport around. So, it gets pretty busy, but I enjoy it though. I enjoy it, to the fullest. So yeah. Enjoy it.
Love to hear about people's passions. So let me ask you this, Marlow. At school, most times what's coming, right? You got the bell coming for dismissal. You got a holiday break coming up. You got parent-teacher conference, and you prep for that. you get yourself set, you get ready. How is that with how, sports photography, right? If you're shooting football, right? Maybe it's going to be a pass play, but is there something that you do to get ready for those events, or you just deal with it as it comes to you?
Well, a lot of times, I always do, I kind of have my stuff kind of set up like, I know the quarterback's going to be throwing a ball. So I get those safe shots, early on in the game. I mean, he drops back the pass. I get a guy handing the ball off and, running the ball. Those are those safe shots. And then, so then I may focus on, the wide receiver for about 7 or 8 plays, because I know somewhere along the way, you can always find who's going to be the targeted wide receiver. So, I just kind of set myself up like that, just kind of break the game down. As far as football and then baseball, kind of the same way. Just got to kind of, if you know the game, you know what's going to happen. If there's a guy on first, you can kind of set yourself up to, to be on the first base side to try to catch that double play, and just those simple things like that. And basketball, of course, just sitting on the goal, just waiting, and just seeing people dribble and rebounds and all that stuff, elbows. I mean, that's I enjoy that. So it's just setting yourself up in the right spot. That's basically what it is.
And we have those special teachers that stand out, those special students. What makes a photo stand out amongst the others?
For me, it's just if it's in black and white, it just stands out. But I mean, if there's some emotion into it, then you've really got a good shot. Like if there's a dunk, and then you see the reaction to it. A lot of times, a photographer they'll shoot the picture, and then they're having the guy dunking or whatever, and then they'll look at the picture to see if they got the dunk. But for me, I'll shoot the picture and just continually keep on shooting, because there's going to be a reaction afterwards. So they're going to scream, or they're going to, put up their muscles or something, to kind of show off like that. So I always just kind of keep the camera up to my eye, keep on ready to shoot.
We got another sharp dresser watching the show here, Marlow, my friend Matt Hodge from Alabama. Matt, thank you for the support. And Marlow, got another follower there on Twitter. Marlow, that's cool to have a passion like that, something that's strikes your spirit. But also you're a baseball player, and a pretty good one at that. Tell me about that, and I know you have a story here about not getting drafted in your life.
Yeah.
So share a little bit about that.
Well, yeah. So many moons ago, I said, hey, that's what I want to do, is play some Major League Baseball. I thought that was going to be, my way out. Of course, that was I'd already registered for my freshman year of college, but then so there's a couple of tryout camps in Louisville, and so I went to those tryout camps and Colorado Rockies, and I talked to the guy, and we had a good relation, good time talking. I did well at the camps, and he said, hey, well, we're gonna start playing here, at every weekend, and we want you to keep coming back. So I kept on going back. I was kind of like a little travel team, but they were just trying to pick the guys that they wanted or whatever. And so, of course, me being about 17, 18, I thought, hey, I'm getting drafted, and of course, by then school was already started. And so, I missed the drop date. I'll just tell you that. So anyway, rolls on into September, and September, October, and then, of course, the kind of little season's done. I didn't get chosen. So then I thought, man, what am I going to do? So I looked back and I said, well, I'm trying to get, go back to school. But then I realized I missed the drop date. So I had about, 15 hours worth of Fs. So yeah, that bit me there pretty good. And so I had to sit out for a whole year. So the next August rolls around, and then that's when I came to Western. And, just the story behind that, I met with the counselor here, and she gave me a shot. She said, hey, she said, I like your story. She said, hey, I'm going to give you a shot. And she said, you just do well here, try to get these grades up. And she said, I'm going to let you in. So I was on academic probation there for a little bit. And so every day I would, whatever note I took in class, I would run a copy of it, and I would bring it to that, her name was Cheryl Chambliss. I'd bring it to a door every day, and she'd have a bunch of papers all stacked outside her door and all that. But anyway, so finally got off academic probation. Everything was great. And then, but just kind of full circle on that story. So she was applying for a new position there at Western, and then she asked me to write her a letter of recommendation. So
wow,
cool story there, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, but a lot of pain that went through that thing for sure. So.
Yeah, yeah. Now, did you wind up playing baseball at Western? Was that something that you
No,
stuck
no,
with?
I
No,
didn't. I didn't. Yeah,
that was
so
it.
yeah, by then it was too far gone. 22, 23 years old. So they were like, we don't want an old guy on the team. So yeah,
Well, good for you for
yeah.
chasing it and working through that hard time. And, I'm sure you could share now with a lot of student athletes about, being in the hole and what that meant to you. And thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's great. You remember her name. And did she get the job?
Yeah, and she did. Yeah, she did. She got the job, and it was pretty awesome. So I thought, hey,
Nice.
it did
Nice.
something right for her. So yeah.
Marla, let's talk a little bit more about your staff and your leadership with your staff. How if I were to ask your teachers, how does Principal Hazard lead? What would they say about you?
They would say just lead by example. There's been plenty of times. I mean, you can probably find on some of my teachers' Twitter page. I'm usually picking up trash or working in the cafeteria, handing out food. Just being there, just being visible. That's the biggest thing for me. It's just being in the classroom, being visible. And sometimes it's almost I feel bad sometimes when I go into the classroom because all the kids are going, Mr. Hazard, they're all kind of running up to me. They want to hug me and everything like that. And so I kind of feel bad, but then but I know that those kids need it. They need to see me there. And so because, a lot of times they probably never seen a man in a suit come in the classroom before, or they've seen a man in a suit at all. So it's just about, they would say he just leads by, just by example. I mean, you see, he doesn't mind to, get dirty and get on the floor and, clean up whatever. That's how he is. So.
I'm sure he's taking care of that suit while he's getting dirty on the floor. That look good.
Yeah.
If you're watching live, again, please jump in, ask us a question or a comment. And how about now, Marlo? In the summer, right, we have a chance to catch our breath. You're going away with your team next week. What are some things that you're doing to intentionally sharpen your own saw?
Again, just being able to, do some reading. I just read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and just trying to, just kind of taking into account those things. And I read those books because of, say a struggling time, and then, how Malcolm struggled, and then so maybe that kind of relates to me. And so, just to try to understand how he lived, and then try to set myself in that direction there as well. Just trying to just on a straight narrow path to make sure that I'm doing things the right way as well. So, but just sharpening the saw. Just doing some reading, trying to go to some conferences, trying to meet with my staff, trying to get an understanding of what their thought is for the new year. How they want to do things this year. What's their goals, what's their ambitions, and things like that.
And when you're reading these books or you're doing these exercises, when something really gets your attention, how do you then say, yeah, bam, it's that thing that I want to bring back to my staff. It's that story of Malcolm X that resonated with me, and I'm going to share this story in this manner. What is it, or when, how do you catch those things that can help serve your staff?
Well, I just use it to think about the students, how it would be effective for the students. And then that's how I bring it to my staff. So whatever I'm reading and whatever catches my eye on that, I'll use that and just take that back to, and just relate it to my students. And then that's how I use it with my staff.
All about the kids. I love it. You had some great mentors in your life that impacted you. And Dr. John V was one of them. And you shared that he saw something in you that you didn't see as in yourself.
Yeah.
What was that? And then, how come you didn't feel that in yourself?
Well, again, that was during that battle time of academic probation, and and I was unsure, which direction to go, and did I need to get out and go to the Marines or what? I was just, just kind of with that time, and he just, he was a professor there, and he was a special education professor, and he just said, listen, he said, if you want to do it, you can do it. He said, but he said, it's up to you. He said, he said, I can sit here and tell you all day long. He said, but if you want to do it, you can do it. And then so, that's kind of how it was. And he just kind of, so I took that advice, kind of ran with it, went and got my master's in special education, in teaching like that. And he's since passed. And then so, but when I became principal here, my of course, I don't have Facebook, but then everybody was on Facebook, and his wife commented on it, and then she said, "Congratulations, Marlow." She said, "I bet John is smiling down on you right now." And then so with that, I tell you, and I, of course, I had my wife to reply back. I said, "Yeah, he's a big part of it." I mean, he's, I celebrate that with him because he was a big part of me doing this. So
yeah. Amazing. A little phrase, a thing like that really just could resonate with you and change the kind of course of what you were doing. That if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Wow. You had some professors there that really helped you at Western, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, they did. I mean, I tell you, it was just those guys, in that special education department, and then there was a Dr. Smith in that library and media. He was that same way. I mean, he just said, man, he said, with that $1 million smile, he said, you can go anywhere. He said, but it's up to you. It's up to you. And I said, okay. And then, funny story with that, he came back. Well, he didn't come back. He moved to Louisiana. And then once I became principal here, he sent me a card. And then he said, in the card, it had a little note in there. It just said, hey, I'm proud of you. He said, you always had that ability to make people feel like they were so important in their life. And you make people better for the way that you are. And I thought, wow. Yeah. So.
I love it. Yeah, I like these things. I like that you're able to hold on to them. And I love when we have someone jump in the show here. Thank you, Ashley. Ashley Guarino got a question there. I don't know if you could see that, Marna, but what is one routine you have that contributes to your success each day?
One routine that I have, and it's just on my morning meetings every morning. I'll talk to the kids, welcome them in and everything like that. But then before I get off the PA system, I always tell them, "You are great, you are wonderful, you are awesome." And everybody, and that's just kind of my motto. And one of my teachers actually, she made me a cup, and it says that, and so I do that every day. And then so of course it's just the big motto around here now. You're great, you're wonderful, you're awesome. And the kids that repeat it back, and it's just just something I just created up, and that's one routine that I do that so no matter if I'm having a stressful day, I always tell the kids that. So.
Well, great question, Ashley, and an even better answer. Marla, I had some principals on there that they get stuff like that painted in the front of their building. They get painted in the opening walkway, and I think that's a beautiful statement. So kudos to you, and Ashley liked it as well.
On that one, got me thinking.
Yeah, get that painted up there. I want to see that on Twitter, man. That's cool because kids do need to hear that, right? Because they hear? They hear they're not good enough. Your reading scores aren't good enough, and that's beautiful. So I agree with Ashley's words there. All right. That. Well, Marlo, what was something before we get to rapid fire? What was something maybe that I didn't ask you about that you wanted to talk about?
It seemed like you covered it all. I mean, yes, you've covered everything. I guess about about the education, about my little ups and downs and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, you've covered everything.
I like that saying, and maybe you get that painted on the front of your building. I'm gonna do my good friend up in Massachusetts. He just retired, Brian, and his name is escaping me this moment. But Brian does a Positive Sign Thursday on Twitter, and I'm gonna, he would have signs like that. You are awesome. You are incredible. Brian McCann, excuse me, forgive me, Brian. So I'm gonna do that. So maybe we'll collaborate on that, Marlo, and get that word out about positivity with the children. So that's cool. All right, Marlo, these are rapid fire questions. I know it's getting hot down there. My air just kicked off here too. So, but these are rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Where are we? First, last book you read?
The autobiography of Malcolm X.
Last movie you saw?
Lean on Me. I watch it. I watch it constantly. So yeah.
Joe Clark.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's my man.
Don't lock the doors down there at Warren.
Yeah, I won't do that. Yeah.
Your favorite dish?
I like salmon. Yeah, I like salmon.
How you like it prepared?
Just grilled with some broccoli.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite place to travel?
Washington D.C. I just left there last week. I tell you, I'd go back every day if I could.
Yeah. 70 miles, man. He put some miles on when you were there.
No doubt about that.
What is a journal or a blog you subscribe to?
Black Enterprise. I've had that one for the longest time, and that was again back in college when I had that, and then of course Ebony Magazine. I always subscribed to that as well. So. Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite stress reliever?
Photography. That's it. Yeah. We'll shoot some pictures.
He likes it. What's a pet peeve of yours? Something gets under your skin?
Just when people say they'll call me back and they don't. That bugs me. Yeah. I always have a thing. I call it the sundown rule. So if you call me and you have a question, if I don't know it then, I'll get back to you before the sun goes down. And that's how I like to do it.
I like it. I'm with you on that, right? People don't RSVP anymore. It drives me crazy, right? You send out invitation to a party, they don't even RSVP.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Give me a recent victory, something you want to celebrate.
I tell you what I did. I went over to one of our neighborhoods with the kids, and a recent victory for me. So I took popsicles over there, and it's a pretty big. It's about 150 kids, and so I'm always trying to learn every kid's name, and so that victory there, I missed about 4 kids' names out of about 150. So
wow.
So it's of course, it's kind of a neat thing. I always try to remember them, and so I always hand out these popsicles. I go see them, and I hand out, hey, thank you, and say all their names, and then there's about 4 kids I just didn't know, and 2 of them though were actually were preschoolers going to kindergarten, so I didn't have them anyway. So I really missed 2. So
you got a whole year to get them.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Beautiful. Louisville, Kentucky, or Western Kentucky? Who's your team?
WKU all the way. Yeah, right here. Yeah.
And what's their nickname? What is WKU?
Hilltop.
Hilltoppers. What's a hilltopper?
Well, at Western, there's of course it's up a big hill, and that's like there's a residence hall at the very bottom of the hill, and then to get to the top of the hill, it's a trek for sure. So, and everybody hated going up the hill, so it's Hilltoppers. Yeah,
Hilltoppers. State of the SEC. All this movement in college. You involved with that? You pay attention to that? What's your thoughts on that?
I just kind of not really. I mean, I was listening to Nick Saban today, just talk about some different things, but not a big deal to me. My biggest thing, I just want to go shoot some pictures down there. So if you know somebody, get me in the SEC game. Hey, I'll shoot some pictures and send you some.
Get the press pass for them. I've learned a lot about Kentucky since my time getting there. Right, horses, bourbon, and the SEC. Are you into the bourbon? Is that are you a connoisseur?
No, don't drink it all. Don't drink it all. So yeah,
that's why you look so good.
So now I do like the horses. Now I went to the Kentucky Derby about 3 years ago and shot some pictures there. Just kind of got down there and got to shoot a little bit. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So,
that is the event.
Yeah, that's it. That's the granddaddy of them all, I guess, is what they say. So.
Wow. At 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, I fill in the blank.
Energized. I'm up every morning at 4:15, walking my dog, and then just I'm gone from there. So that's it.
Love it. Best purchase under $100 that has had a great impact on your life.
Probably my My wedding certificate, yeah. My wedding, my license, yeah. My marriage license, yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
The paper cost under 100, but everything else was over there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but hey, got me a great support system there, so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
If I were to come to a barbecue at your house this summer and you would say, oh, you got to try the fill in the blank. What do I got to try?
Hey, my salmon on the grill. My salmon on the grill and my baked beans. Yes, sir.
It's hard to cook salmon on the grill because you could overcook it pretty easy.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, if you wrap it right and just time it up right, it's good. You can do it. So.
Yeah, because you're not putting it right on, right? Because then it
you
falls apart, right?
Yeah, you wrap it in foil, some lemons, some little onions maybe. Just let it sit in there about 15 minutes or so.
Skin up or skin down?
Skin down.
Skin down to protect it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Salmon, baby. 2 words to describe yourself.
Just dedicated and just hardworking. I guess hardworking and dedicated. Yeah, I guess that's 1, 2, 3. I guess.
We going to get combo word there. You would take 2. I know you want to write a book. You have the idea, you have the thought, or is it just something you want to do?
Just something I want to do. I mean, as far as education, I'd love to do a book. Just about just the things that I've seen in education in life, and just kind of like the book that you've written, the books that you've written. Just things like that, just to try to kind of sum everything up, write a book about, just life in general and how to, kind of maneuver through life.
Yeah. Well, I would challenge you here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Marlow. You have a story to tell. You have that passion. I'm going to do another Write My Book seminar about that, about how to do it and how to get started. So I would love for you to join and help you with that passion.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, I think the title might be Best Dressed Guy in the Room.
It could be, yeah. And why that's so important, yes.
That's right. That's so right. Important. What is one thing you're curious about?
Just curious about this new school year coming up, just how it's going to roll, just really had a lot of turnover with teachers and trying to get some more in. So, here at my school, I think I've only, I may have about 6 tenured teachers out of about 20 or something like that. So, but just I'm just curious about how, taking the new teachers in and, just how I'm going to try to build them up and guide them the right way. So it's always good. It's kind of tough to have a young staff, but it's always good to have a young staff because then you can you kind of get the best of both worlds on it, I guess, and try to help them through and just learn some stuff for yourself and help them learn as well.
Something about Marlow Hazard that people do not know about.
Actually, I've got a full head of hair, but I just choose to cut it off. So
get out, really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh my God, people would go crazy for that. You choose to go bald.
Yeah, I choose. I cut it off. Yeah, I cut my hair about every other day. So yeah, but yeah.
How about that? Look at that. See, that was a good answer. Marlow, I got your Twitter handle there. What's the best way people want to get in touch with you?
Hey, you can reach me there on Twitter, email marlow.hazard@warren.kyschools.us. Or if you want to call me on my cell phone, you can call me there at 270-392-5167. So
he's putting out the cell phone. He's giving out the digits.
Yeah, so
I hope all your students will listen here. They be
calling me. So yeah, so I used to do that with my high school students. I gave my number when I taught math, and I would call them up, and I got this from Ron Clark. So I'd call them and I'd say, "Hey, what's 8 times 5?" And then if they had a pause, I just hang up on them. So you're not ready, and just hang up. So try to get them to learn their multiplication tables and all that. So it's just something fun that I would do. So. Yeah.
Marlow, you shared a lot today. This was fun. Do you have a quote that you kind of live by, something you want to end the show with?
Just my quote, that if my kids are listening or whatever it may be, you are great, you are wonderful, you are awesome. And that's it.
You are great. You are wonderful. You are awesome. Marlo, I say all three about those things about you as well. It was a pleasure to have you on. I'm sorry it took so long, but we got you.
That's all right.
And I hope I'll see you down there in Louisville at some point next week before you head on out. I get in Wednesday, so maybe let's say hello, okay?
Okay. All right. All right.
All right. Well, don't hang up. But we're going to end here right now. Education, Leadership, and Beyond. This was show number, what am I here? 217. Marlow Hazard, Warren Elementary, and check him out on Twitter at Mr. Hazard 101 if you're listening. Marlow, you keep rolling and keep surviving and thriving.
Yes, sir.
All right. Stay on the line here, Marlow, and we're going to get rolling. Thanks so much, everyone. Again, a shout out to our sponsor at Havesies. Excuse me, at HavesiesCookies.com. Check them out. Discount code Marada15. Keep surviving and thriving. If I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to reach out at Andrew Marada21 on Twitter. Keep rolling, friends.